While on the court with us, Jason Tatum hit how many threes in a row? 2, 7, 12, or 18?
Hi. sight.
Jordan Kilgannon came to 2K mocap for his dunks to appear in which NBA 2K game? Is it 2K16, 2K17, 2K18, or 2K19? Today we've been invited to get an exclusive look at the dunkers.
We've got basketball action from New Orleans, Louisiana. Home of the Pelicans, here on 2K Sports. There's no better time of year than the holidays for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Welcome, everyone. Along with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, I'm Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge, our sideline reporter. You look at Brooklyn, they feel like they're a better team than their record shows, and in games like this one, it's an opportunity to prove it. They can step it up and make a game of it. We'll see.
And seeing where the Nets are, there were fears they'd be one of the NBA's doormats this season. Those fears have turned out to be well-founded.
Yeah, the people who said they hadn't done enough in the offseason to improve this team were exactly right. They never put the foundation of winning in place.
So the Nets starting five. We've got Allen. Jamari Carroll is out there with Hollis Jefferson. And there's D'Angelo Russell. And it's Dinwiddie in at the one spot. And the Nets adding their own G League affiliate, the Long Island Nets.
Yeah, and the Nets franchise originally, remember, based in Long Island. So nice to have that homecoming. And, of course, with young talent development, so critical for this Nets organization. Having that minor league team in close proximity, very valuable.
And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Wow, the vertical of Hollis Jefferson, simply unreal. This guy's got a little showman in his game.
Outside Holiday. Cousins, no one around him. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time.
Obviously, he's not the top priority for the defense in those situations. It results in an open three.
Here's Carroll, and Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
Now, here's Cousins. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Miami. Now, let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer.
He is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. That Unleash Chaos Under Armour replay. Really giving us a good look at the action.
And in 2015, Cousins added that three-pointer to his game. Now he can do it all offensively.
Now the pass to Carroll. Out left to the wing. From 12 feet out, DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. Holiday dishes to Mirotic. It's stolen by Allen. Here's Hollis Jefferson, covered by Mirotic. And Davis sends it back. To the inside. Back to Holiday. Davis with a screen on Carroll. And Holiday kicks to Mirotic. Cousins with it, and Allen picks him up defensively.
And Cousins with a terrific perimeter game. One more thing that kind of sets him apart at that center position.
Carroll up top. Now the feed to Dinwiddie. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed, so can't fault him for going for the block.
And here's Holiday. He had 15 points last outing. Davis, the pass to Mirotic. Here's Holiday. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Right, because otherwise you're going to give up those close-range opportunities all night. If you allow the opposition to get into a groove, look out.
Here's Dinwiddie, guarded by Holiday. 6 on the shot clock. Russell, no good. And it's the Pelicans taking it the other way. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
You know, they're the visiting team. It's a loud arena, very distracting at times, but simply no excuse for missing a ton of free throws.
Well, I couldn't agree more, Greg. Situations like that you hope build character. But they need to knock down the free throws, bottom line.
Greg, from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots. We knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
Here's Cousins. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Here's Dinwiddie, guarded by Holiday. There's the screen. Russell passes to Hollis Jefferson. Nice D from Cousins.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Davis kicks to Cousins. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Nets trail by 5. Pass to Dinwiddie. There's the triple. Pelicans with the rebound. It's Davis on the wing. Carroll covering with the shot. Cousins dishes to Davis. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
As dangerous as he is inside, Davis gives opponents nightmares when he's able to get to the mid-range. He's very reliable when he steps back and takes the jump shot.
Wow, give me some style points on the slam, Kevin. My goodness.
New Orleans leading by 5. And Davis, here we go. Good.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
Some changes for New Orleans. Hill, he's checked in for Mirotic. Ian Clark comes in for Ejuan Moore. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Drew Holiday. A big group substitution here for Brooklyn. Okafor's checked in for Damari Carroll. Alan Pratt comes in for Hollis Jefferson. LeVert's checked in for Russell. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Spencer Dinwiddie.
You have to enjoy watching Jeremy Lin work the pick and roll. This guy totally loses the defense with his quick decision making.
Connects from three-point range. And 11 points for Davis.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Lin with it. 11 points for him in that last game against San Antonio.
His passing definitely came into play as well, Kev. He was very unselfish, really kept the ball moving.
Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the Nets.
And you can see how big a role the three-point shot played in their offense. They were determined to spread the floor and just kind of open things up through their long-range game.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Diallo comes in for DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Darius Miller in for Anthony Davis.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Rondo kicks to Miller. Launches a three. The kick out to Hill. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Here's Rondo. Okafor grabs the miss.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the inside.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting two. And there's the foul against New Orleans. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
So he comes up empty, missing both. And now teams getting into the middle of the season. The truth is, it's a grind, Doris. You know it. You've covered it, 82 games. In your opinion, is that the right amount in terms of 82 games in a regular season?
I would say to you, it doesn't matter if it's the right amount. I think the reality is this is the business of the NBA. It's been 82 games for as long as I can remember, certainly in my lifetime of fandom, Kevin. So the reality is what we need to do is address the schedule, and you're starting to see that. Shortening the preseason, stretching out those windows where you're not getting 4 games in 5 nights, and the back-to-backs, particularly when there's back-to-back on national television. 82 games is going nowhere from a business standpoint. Let's make those 82 games the best we can by lengthening the season.
Here's LeVert. Tries again. And Allen with the layup. Allen's got 6.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Hill, a screen on Lynn. Holiday, the pass to Diallo. No good on the 3. Nets trail by 3. Outside, Lynn from beyond the arc. A 3-pointer is right on target. 8 points for him.
And this team trusts Lynn to play within the offense. He's very good at taking high-quality shots.
Holiday against Lynn. Drew Holiday again.
And both offenses in rhythm here to start the game.
Boy, these teams can't miss so far. If you love good offense, this is your game.
Allen, that's good. Allen's got the game tied up here for Brooklyn.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range. And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league. He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard 3 positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
Allen dishes to Lynn. Passes it to LeVert. And there's a whistle. That goes on Ian Clark. That is his first foul of the game. Andrew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. And at the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front of him.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession. Four seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Lynn kicks to Okafor. Back to Lynn. Here's LeVert. The basket good off the assist from Lynn.
Well, you cannot allow Karis LeVert to square up from deep. When he's in rhythm, he's going to knock down that shot with great consistency.
Here's Holiday. 8 points for him. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Holiday's got 10.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Anthony Davis firing on all cylinders for the New Orleans Pelicans. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. And we'll be right back after this. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And New Orleans has gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So for Brooklyn now, Harris is out there with Allen. Then there's Okafor. Then it's Jeremy Lin. And it's Crabbe in at the 2. Lin the pass to Allen. Shoots it. It's good, and the New Orleans lead is cut down to 1 on the bucket from Lin. 10 points for him. And so it's New Orleans with it. They're getting their first look of the season at the Nets in this one.
And just couldn't make the most of their meetings last year. Ended up splitting the season series.
Here's Clark. He's guarded by Cram. 5 to shoot.
Well, he's such a good athlete for a center. It's how he's able to succeed despite being one of the smallest fives in the NBA.
Pass to Okafor. Dish now to Harris. Back to Okafor. To the inside. Yep, it goes in, and the Pelican lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Lin.
Well, you have to love the focus. Jeremy Lin creating well for himself down low makes that one look easy.
This is to Holiday. Clark kicks to Diallo, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Picked by Okafor. Lin dishes to Cram. Knocked loose. So it looks like the Nets will retain possession here. Chance now to check out the NBA's most efficient scorers. New Orleans making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Tamari Carroll's checked in for Allen. Lin the pass to Okafor. He's looking for Carroll and finds him.
Carroll is not taking any chances. Put those 2 points on the board from the closest possible range.
And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
Well, we know this. Jeremy Lin knows how to run an offense. His ability to find the open man uncanny.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Diallo. Davis comes in for Darius Miller. Morris checked in for Ian Clark. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Drew Holiday. Such a wide open look. 14 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
One of the most prolific scoring big men in the game. Cousins getting his tonight.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. Yes, I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here." Devin?
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win. And stolen by Harris. And here we go. Brooklyn, fast break. Russell's running, and Rondo sends it back.
Well, you forget sometimes how much of an impact Rondo can have defensively there, showing off some superb vertical as he goes up for the block.
Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Jeremy Lin. Here's Russell. Right through the D for the layup. Russell's got his first points in this one.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Cousins with a screen on Russell. Moore outside. This one for 3. That one doesn't go. And Brooklyn will come the other way. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
Yeah, got into foul trouble and really played out of control and just couldn't overcome it.
I think you really have to think they beat themselves out there, right? You can't be fouling another team like that consistently, and that's just asking to get beat.
Doris, we're always talking about players developing their skill sets. What do you think is the hardest skill to develop as a broadcaster?
I think for me, the hardest skill to learn was to learn how to relax, to have fun, to not be anything but your most authentic self, because I think the viewer picks up on it if you're forcing things, if you're trying to be another broadcaster that perhaps you like to emulate. So I'd say that was the hardest thing.
I always say broadcasting a basketball game is like a running conversation between two people because there's so much scoring and the rhythm and the flow of the game just lend itself to that.
At its best, you're 100% correct.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Cousins and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Yeah, and last season, DeMarcus Cousins moving on in that blockbuster trade
Really impossible to get equal value for a star like Cousins, but he was pleased, I think, to put all the rumors of being traded to bed.
And the Nets making a change here. Dinwiddie's checked in to the left side wing. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
You call that power basketball by Hollis Jefferson. He's willing to go right through the foul.
And with Cousins, he found out that he was being traded to the Pelicans while at the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And it's never easy fitting in with another star like the Brow, but Cousins is just so skilled that you knew they would find a balance. And at the end of the day, Cousins seems to be happy with the team who is committed to him.
Off the screen. He can't hit that time. Great D that time from Rondo. He feeds it to Davis. And Cousins kicks to Rondo. He dishes it to Davis. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul goes against Brooklyn. He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far. And that one falls for Anthony Davis.
Well, guys, you think back to 2013 when the Nets pushed all their chips in for a title. When that collapsed, they had to embrace Plan B. So what do? They go into the Spurs organization, hire from that brain trust, and now are trying to build from the ground up.
LeVert's checked in for Harris. Hollis Jefferson, good. Hollis Jefferson's got 9.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Here's LeVert, and the rejection by Cousins.
And you got to be careful with Cousins around. His shot blocking can be a factor. They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Davis kicks to Cousins. Outside Rondo. Mirotic has a wide open look. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. Rondo's got 4 assists in the game. And the new Nets leadership now thinking long-term.
Right, Kev. I think that this is a team, an organization that wants high-character individuals. They're using words like consistency and sustainability. If you want the model, it's the Spurs' 2-decade playoff run. That's the goal for the Brooklyn Nets.
Basket good. Russell's got 4 points this quarter.
And happy to take it up inside. You see Russell under control and in charge.
Rondo kicks to Mirotic. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Here's Dinwiddie. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. It's stolen by Rondo. And here we go, Rondo heading to the hoop. And Moore kicks to Cousins. And they double up Cousins. Rondo, no good. Brooklyn trailing. Right wing. Teardrop shot, and Davis sends it back. Cousins dishes to Mirotic. And Rajon Rondo, the basket on the assist from Mirotic. Rondo's got his first points of the game.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Russell with a wide open look. Nailed from three-point land.
Yeah, I thought he was rushing his shot early on, but not here in the second quarter.
Rondo kicks to Cousins. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Cousins has got 21 in the game.
And this is tough to stop if you're the defense. They have just gotten locked in from 3-point range this quarter.
In the corner, Hollis Jefferson. And the Nets, another 3.
And Kevin, it's so important to see Hollis Jefferson putting in the time to work on that perimeter game.
It's Davis with the drop. Kicks to Cousins. That's in there. Davis with the assist. And it's now 23 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Hollis Jefferson passes to LeVert. Here's the screen. Feeds it to Dinwiddie. And he misses the go-ahead basket. New Orleans in the lead. Mirotic dishes to Davis. Hands the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. We see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Cousins.
This is the shot chart of a dominant performance. I mean, he's taking a lot of shots because right now he believes that every shot he does take is going in. And who can blame him with the way he's played? Simply outstanding work coming from him.
Russell from long range. Connects from three-point range. Russell's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
That's his second bucket from range this quarter after hitting none in the first.
It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
Exactly, guys. The way it's seesawed back and forth, unbelievable.
There's a good screen. And Davis sends it back. Blocked again.
And a good opportunity here to go 2 for 1.
Let's see what they do here, Greg, right? Because you know they want to get a couple of possessions out of the time left.
And how's that for a solo performance?
Well, you couldn't do it any better than that, Greg. Textbook execution on the break.
New Orleans making some changes here. Diallo, he's checked in for Cousins. Darius Miller comes in for Davis. And it's Holiday in for Rajon Rondo. Crabs checked in for Brooklyn. Jeremy Lin comes in for Spencer Dinwiddie. That one's good. The New Orleans lead is cut down now to just 2 points with that basket from LeVert.
That 6'7" Karis LeVert knows how to use that size, especially inside. He knows how to handle himself in there.
Miller kicks to Holiday. Goes back up. Out to Miller. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Miller's got 5 now.
And great job from beyond the arc this quarter. They are now shooting the 3 at almost 60% for the game.
Lin the pass to Allen. It's blocked. Now Holiday. DeMarcus Cousins. He's been the guy making... All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal. DeMarcus Cousins having an outstanding game. He had 23 points, 2 assists, and 1 block. Kenny, your thoughts? How the Pelicans are playing?
Guess it's time to boogie on down. You can't guard a guy that big and talented, both in the post as well as beyond the arc. Main thing, though, Cousins kept his emotions under control in the first half, and that allowed his game to rise to the top.
And over to Shaq. What do you... That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
Welcome back to New Orleans, everyone. Glad to have you with us tonight as we take a peek at all the happenings just outside of Bourbon Street. New Orleans leading by 5. And Kenny Atkinson, head coach of the Nets, a New York native, grew up in Long Island.
And it is nice to have that tie to the area. Certainly with this team, we know it's going to be a process. But Kenny is whole, and he's committed to developing this organization.
The star big men pair of Davis and Cousins are up front. Holiday and Moore, the guards. And it's Mirotic in at the 3 spot. That's Alvin Gentry's 5 as we get into the second half. There's a screen. Here's Russell. Yep, it goes in, and the Pelican lead is cut down to 6, and the bucket from Hollis Jefferson.
Well, I'll tell you, excellent job from Hollis Jefferson. This guy's so skilled at getting terrific position down low.
And Holiday kicks to Cousins. Davis dishes to Holiday. To the left wing, and here's Moore outside. Davis, the pass to Mirotic. Outside, Davis. Holiday with the 3. Rebound, Brooklyn. Allen's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Down low. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Well, this guy loves the phrase, quote, hard work is a talent, and you can see Damari Carroll's work on the glass there.
Davis sets a screen. And Holiday, here we go. Mirotic. No good with the triple.
Boy, what a cold start to the second half for them. Just 1 for 4 from the field so far.
Hollis Jefferson passes to Carey. Davis with the double team. There's Hollis Jefferson. He's guarded by Davis. It's stolen by Davis. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Double team on Holiday. Back to Mirotic. Three-pointer. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Dinwiddie dishes to Carey. Stolen by Holiday. And here we go. Holiday heading to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway layup. Holiday's got the lead up to 9 now for New Orleans. And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. Back to Allen. Moore with the steal. Stolen by Allen. And here's the fast break. Russell leading the way. The shot's good. Russell's got 12 points in the game.
Really like the energy I'm seeing from this offense. 3 for 4 to open the third.
Double team on Holiday. From deep, Moore. Carroll with the rebound.
Boy, for a capable three-point shooter, that's one he expects to make.
There's Hollis Jefferson. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
Oh, wow. 4 of 5 to start the half. Coming out on fire.
Back to Holiday. Left side, Davis. Here's Mirotic. No good from outside. Nets trail by 5. There's a check in for the Nets. Davis with the double team. Dinwiddie kicks to Allen. The 15-footer, and he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Boy, that's a tough miss. Does well to get himself open and then botches it up.
Double team on Holiday. There's the pass to Mirotic. Over to the left wing. Davis kicks to Mirotic. And that one falls, coming off of Davis's feed. 15 points for Nikola Mirotic.
Another triple, and that's been the story of this second half.
Boy, they have consistently been draining shots from deep, and that can take the heart out of an opponent.
Moore against Russell. Got a piece of it. That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession.
And a quick review, looking at some numbers here for Anthony Davis. He's averaging 19 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. And with his ability to put the ball in the bucket, he has to be your primary focus defensively.
I think defenses plan to stop him, but very few succeed, Greg. And that's why he's his team's leading scorer.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those two anchors on the front line.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area, and every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
Yep, it goes in, and the Pelican lead is cut down now to just 8 points with the basket from Carroll. Davis, the pass to Rondo. Davis kicks to Rondo. Over in the corner, Cousins. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Up top, Lynn. He's covered by Rondo. Fires from 14. Lynn's shot is off.
Just a little hesitation on that release, right? His timing looked a bit off.
Holiday dishes to Cousins. Off target with his 3. Nets trail by 11. Lynn with it. He's picked up by Rondo. Out to Harris. Carroll for 3. And the Nets, another 3.
Well, the best thing there is how decisive DeMarre Carroll was. He's going to rise and fire as soon as he touches the ball.
And Cousins throws it down.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Lynn against Rondo. The 11-footer, Allen. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Double team on Holiday. Cousins, the pass to Davis. Rondo with a clean look. Drills it from outside. Rondo's got 7 points in the game.
And every now and then, Rondo will surprise you with the occasional triple, showing it off there with range.
And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. The Nets making a switch here. LeVert's checked in. Lynn against Rondo. There's the pick. Crab from long range. Nailed from three-point land. 6 points for him.
A steady screen set on that play, and the defense disappears. Nice communication between teammates to make that play work.
Some changes for New Orleans. Diallo, he's checked in for Cousins. Solomon Hill comes in for Davis. And Ian Clark subbed in for Drew Holiday. It's Miller on the wing. And stolen by Cram. Here's LeVert. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
You've got to stay with LeVert in transition. I'll tell you, if you let him outrun you, it's going to be a long night.
Here's Clark. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Diallo kicks to Clark. Just 5 to shoot. The baseline J. Drained for 2 points. And the Pelicans lead by 10. Brooklyn's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the 3rd quarter so far. Now here's Lynn. He's got 12. Another one falls for Brooklyn. And Doris, you've spoken in the past about the art form of drawing a foul. Who are some of the best players that you've seen in executing it?
Well, I think the preeminent guy at this point would have to be James Harden, right? And this guy specializes in the and one, the 3-shot opportunities from 3. And listen, that is part of the game, and we do not want to take that aspect away, right? Because and ones have always been a part of the game. What we need to evaluate is at what point does a shot attempt begin versus those guys who are throwing themselves, or in James Harden's case, sometimes grabbing the arm of the defender and creating a foul where none existed before.
He's been very clever in perfecting that, and I give him credit because he has taken what's given and really exploited it.
It might become known if they make a change as the Harden rule, Kevin.
You're right. It probably will be. That free throw, no good. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, he's checked in for DeMarre Carroll. He hits the 2nd from the line.
And over the course of the Nets franchise history, some interesting decisions. I mean, back in the 90s, they came very close to changing the team name to the Swamp Dragons. I think I'm just going to leave that one right there.
Pick up by Hill. Miller outside. The kick out to Hill. Clark for 3. And it's Lynn with the rebound. So, Greg, how close were the Nets to being the Swamp Dragons anyway?
Well, it needed a unanimous vote of all the teams to change it, but there was one vote against it. The Nets themselves voted against the change, and they had 7 owners who rotated voting duties, and the one on deck got cold feet.
Hollis-Jefferson passes to Crab. Here's Hollis-Jefferson. The Nets working the ball around now. Rondo against Lynn. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
And not relying at all on the 3-point shot. they may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. Two Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
Pass to LeVert. Crabbe in the corner. Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. Here's Allen. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Rondo kicks to Hill. Three-pointer. Rondo can't get it to go. Lynn, that's a two-pointer. No good on the shot.
Boy, just enough defensive attention to throw that shot off target.
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. Back to the action after this word. And a moment ago, inside the huddle with head coach Alvin Gentry.
All right, guys, remember what we said now. Hey, play our basketball.
3 quarters in the books, folks. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back as we get going. On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Allen. Then it's Jeremy Lin. Then it's Allen Crabbe. And it's LeVert in at the shooting guard.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Mirotic gets the bucket.
He has a lot of points from long range this half. He's taken advantage of a really tired defense.
Lin the pass to LeVert. The basket good off the assist from Lin. Lin's got 6 assists now in the game.
And that was a real quick comeback there. Both sides showing some range.
But both teams are pulling the trigger right now, showing great confidence from behind that arc.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
You're just assuming at this point every shot he takes, it's going to go in. What a shooting performance.
The feed to Mirotic. Inside. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Doris, so often we talk about high basketball IQ. Is that something you can learn, or do you have to be born with something like that?
I think it's probably a little bit of both, but if you look at someone like LeBron James, whose basketball IQ may be the highest we've ever seen, I think he's a guy whose basketball knowledge is always expanding. And I think if you love the game, you're constantly taking in information. So probably a little bit of both.
So you've always got to be curious, right? Even if you're at the top of the game like LeBron or yourself.
Right. LeBron is just, he's constantly taking in sources of information, upping his ante in terms of film watching and preparation. Really special to be able to watch that guy work.
And I know that's how you prepare as a broadcaster now. I'd like to tag along sometime and watch you prepare for a game. That'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be a blast.
That one goes in.
Man, this has been fun. I mean, we got 2 teams dueling down the stretch.
Boy, does it feel to you, Greg, like every single shot is going through the bucket? That's how lethal both of these teams have been late in this one.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
You can tell they've got their foot on the gas pedal right now. No slowing down. The defense starting to look helpless.
Pelicans leading by 12. Outside Rondo, outside Hill. And it's Hill with the jam.
Yeah, Rondo just working the ball around there. He loves finding his teammates when they're open in the sweet spots.
Some changes for New Orleans. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Diallo. And it's Drew Holiday in for Rajon Rondo. Timeout called, the Nets. Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. 1, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And 2, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. He needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with
with it.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Kenny Atkinson had some words for his team during the break. He was not happy with their defensive performance. He said they're getting everything they want. We've got to show them we can't let that happen. You have to make a stand. You have to get some stops, and that'll get us going on a run. Guys?
And Davis can't get it to go.
Well, the defense harassing him every step of the way makes that a really tough look.
Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Allen. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And the Nets throwing big money at restricted free agents in recent years, trying to add talent any way they can.
Well, and sometimes being willing to overpay if they have to. With no high draft picks walking through that door, they've got to exploit every opportunity to improve this roster.
Damari Carroll's checked in for Brooklyn. And Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, a good ball handler and passer. Doris, do you play him some at the point forward, or is that asking too much?
Well, I think at this point he's probably better suited as a secondary ball handler. Putting the ball in his hands does take some pressure off of his shooting, though. And if his jump shot doesn't come around, it might be something to revisit.
Holiday dishes to Mirotic. Second chance shot. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Doris, when you look at the NBA draft lottery, so many of the top guys coming out are one-and-dones. How is that, you think, affecting the way the NBA game is played and coached?
Well, obviously it can take time because the one-and-dones are typically 18, 19, or 20, somewhere in that age range. So you wonder about maturity. Their skill sets are probably going to be, a little bit slower to develop. It's enough of a concern that Commissioner Adam Silver has addressed it. Whether or not the player representation will allow that rule to be changed about the one-and-dones remains to be seen.
And the first one drops.
And you'll hear some say the sleeper of that 2015 draft was Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. I mean, a fractured ankle his rookie season limited him to just those 29 games. But when healthy, he's shown he can be a force defensively.
Davis with a screen on Russell. And Holiday kicks to Davis. Good on the shot.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it.
And it's Russell in the corner. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. And Greg, what separates Hollis-Jefferson, do you think, as an NBA defender?
Physicality, quickness to go along with anticipation. I mean, with his pressure D, he's able to suffocate perimeter players and rack up steals. And don't forget versatility. He's a guy that can guard multiple positions, and that's a huge asset for any team.
And Mirotic kicks to Davis. Outside Holiday. His 3-pointers off the mark. Nets trail by 11. Here's Russell. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And for D'Angelo Russell, the former number 2 overall pick in 2015 out of Ohio State. Craig, in your opinion, what makes him so special as a prospect?
I think it's all about his skill level. I mean, the league loves players who can handle, pass, and shoot. And he can do all 3 at an elite level. And he's not just a stationary shooter. He can hit pull-ups, a very good in-between game as well. Let's just see if he can continue his maturation process.
Pass to Hollis-Jefferson. Shoots over Mirotic. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Hollis-Jefferson's got 11 points here in just the second half. Cousins, the pass to Moore. And he converts the layup. And the Pelicans lead by 9.
And they just refuse to go away and really have slowly worked themselves back into the game.
Russell kicks to Carroll. And the rejection by Cousins. Here's Holiday. Hollis-Jefferson with the rebound. Hollis-Jefferson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. He kicks it to Carroll. It's stolen by Davis. The shot by Holiday, no good. Brooklyn with the ball. They're on a 13-5 run. Carroll, no one around him. Offensive rebound, Allen. And Mirotic sends it back. And they get it back. Davis inside. Carroll covering. Got that one up quick. And that's now 35 points here for Cousins.
Boy, this guy's a rock. You know, this is a player that you can count on to produce under any circumstance.
Dinwiddie. Russell from long range. And that's collected by Drew Holiday.
Well, he tries to answer with a three of his own and can't do it. You can't get caught up in the one-on-one aspect.
Mirotic inside. Working on Allen. Cousins dishes to Holiday. Shot clock at 6. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. They get the rebound, and Cousins kicks to Davis. And it's Moore penetrating, and then Cousins with the dunk.
They're just tremendously physical. Cousins not afraid to rearrange some furniture in there.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. Greg, when you watch DeMarcus Cousins play, you can see the beating he takes in the post, can't you?
Yeah, and that's just how it goes with star centers, with the size and activity of Cousins. Just like Shaq in the sense, big bruising centers are hard to officiate. Other players can lay into them and not even make a dent, but anyone else, it would be a foul.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Rondo's checked in. They set the pick. Here's Russell. It's Carroll on the wing. Knocked away. Here's Dinwiddie. And just miss after miss right now.
And look at how well the defense does to cut his path to the basket. Comes up empty on what might have been an easy play.
Mirotic gets the bucket.
And weak rotation defensively. This is not a guy you want to leave open when you're trying to stay in the game.
Now, the defense just not in sync there, right? You've got to do a better job communicating.
Here's Allen, and the rejection by Cousins. Outside Rondo. And it goes for the 5th time in 10 shots for him this game.
And now they are probably too far ahead. It's going to be nearly impossible to get back in this one.
There's no doubt. They're really clicking. What an amazing all-around effort to take a huge lead like this late in the game.
Allen, that's good.
Well, that's about court awareness. Hollis Jefferson playing very well within the confines of this offense.
Now here's Rondo. He's guarded closely. Here's Davis. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets. Doris, wearable body tracking, such as sensors the teams use to determine stress load on players' bodies, how much they run during a game, during a practice, how fast they're going. Are we taking this thing too far?
You know, it's an excellent question. Listen, technology is increasing to the point where these teams now have a greater body of information with which to work. So I think just like we see in other areas of the game, analytics relative to team success, what's a good shot, what's a bad shot, the more information, the better. I think it comes down to an organizational decision. How much stress will we put on the information given by these particular body tracking monitors? I think it's got to be on a case-by-case basis. Certainly, the organizations will use it to the best of their abilities.
But if it helps the game, helps the players stay healthy, gives teams a better compass on how to use the players, I'm all for it.
Me too, Kev. Me too.
Then the pass to Cunningham. And Davis sends it back. And it's Davis with the jam.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
I think that's exactly the mentality you have to have. You don't want to give this team any hope of coming back.
Here is Cunningham. He's guarded by Davis. Here's Okafor. They can't stop the run with that one. Rondo dishes to Cousins. From downtown, no good there. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg